So
bad.
his pen game was the pen game that inspired me to start writing music that had a little bit more substance and a little bit more truth. And a little bit more experience behind it, and not just like let's dance and party and you know have a good time, and you know it was talk some shit, some real shit, because people gonna relate, and that's what inspired me to like go the other route on my music. Because if you listen to the music that I started producing in 2018 to the album that I dropped last year in October, it's two different women.
Yeah, listen, it's like he said, Toxic and Pain Records hit
works.
different.
It works
because people could relate to them shits.
All
that, like he's that in between shit.
Right.
It don't, you know, like when you spill that pain. It resonates with the world.
Relatable.
It's relatable.
Exactly.
It's relatable.
Exactly.
Because you go through heartbreak in friggin' elementary school, in high school, in college, you know.
It starts
all
with,
types of life.
It starts with this right here. You want to go out? The paper, yes or no?
Yeah, right. The little, you remember the little paper that used to be like,
yeah,
what
exactly.
was that called? Yeah.
You saw it? But I want to know real quick. You mentioned it earlier, La Chachi. How did that come about?
My aunt,
she sounds like she's toxic.
No, she's fun. She's fun.
She's toxic.
Nah, she's fun.
Fuck out of here.
She is.
Don't even like, let's not sugarcoat it because we're on a pod right now. She's toxic.
She's fucking toxic. That's right.
Thank you. Keep it a buck.
And I'm a Leo, just like that bitch.
Exactly. Fucking lions don't know how to fucking act. They just be lying.
No, I don't lie. I'm sorry. I'll hurt you with the truth. Even if my voice shakes, I'm gonna tell you what it is.
That's
tell you what it is.
A 10 percentile.
So I'm tell you what it is.
But anyways,
I'll be honest with you. You know what? Now that I think about it, and I know life has made her like that, and I'm happy she's like that because she's a great role model to me.
Two toxic women.
Nah.
It's so good.
Titi Maggie was the one that gave me my name Chachi. She's my godmother as well. And she was one of the women who raised me. When I said my mom, my grandmother, my godmother.
It's fire that you still have all of them, but go ahead.
And I do. I'm very grateful to God for that. There was a song, I'm not sure if it was Eddie Santiago or Lalo Rodriguez. It was a salsa song. And I remember that towards the end of the song, it did something like cha chiki cha chi cha chi cha chiki chiki cha chi, something in that sense. And she would put me on the table and I would just freaking start dancing. And I was like, not even 1, 2. So I was like literally a toddler.
You had that name for a while.
My whole life. Whole life. So, and it's a name that I haven't been able to get away from. So even when I started producing music as Grizel Del Valle, and let's say people from the industry would interview me or I would do a show somewhere or whatever, they would still wind up saying La Chachi. And I'm like, that's not what I told y'all to say. I told y'all to say Grizel Del Valle. Like, ain't nobody, like, who told you to say Chachi? And I'm talking about, like, radio interviews, El Pachá, like, people from Univision, like, all the time. And I'm like, guys, that's not the name I gave. So we decided that in order to marry both officially, because people would be like, I can't find your music, because they were looking for Chachi, La Chachi. Nice. And all the music is on the Grizel Del Valle. I was like, you know what? When I come out with my album, I am going to put my album is going to be titled La Chachi. And that's how I'm going to marry both names so that whenever you look for this bitch pops up.
Listen, trust me,
same bitch.
You see I start my podcast or our podcast with 2 names because I'm 2 totally different people, but
that's how I feel.
I say Tank Sinatra because a lot of people don't know how to say Taino Domingo.
Right.
So it's like, listen, either or.
You know how many people call me Grizzle? My name is not Grizzle, my nizzle.
That's my mother's name. Like, I've never...
Grizel?
Yeah.
Shut up.
So they call her Lisa because nobody knows how to pronounce it.
There you
see?
Go.
You see?
And the way they spell it, I'm like, I put Grizel. Why are you putting an S? Why are you putting LLE? Why are you, like, I'm like, my name is not Giselle. Like, respect the name. So I was just like, you know what? La Chachi is going to be the name of the title of the album. And it's going to work. And then it's just going to be married together. Ja.
Dope.
They won't fuck it up after that,
so,
hopefully.
Chachi, where do you draw inspiration from with creating and performing?
So creating-wise, I feel like I draw inspiration from the pioneers that came before me. So I don't really listen to music from nowadays, if that makes any sense.
No, I don't.
I'll
tell you.
Yeah.
I live in the 90s.
Yeah, well, I'm back in the 70s. 70s, okay. 60s. Ironically, Chachi from the Happy Days. I don't know if y'all remember Chachi from the Happy Days.
What you mean? I'm 49.
So that's where my aunt got the name from, actually. She told me afterwards, after all these years, she used to be like, right.
And he was a bozo.
But I ain't a bozo and I ain't a dude. Even though I got big dick energy, I'm not a dude.
Yeah, he was a bozo.
But the name, I mean, they call people who are named Michelle Chachi. Like, it's just and recently I gave my name in Starbucks. I was like Chachi, and she was like mad Puerto Rican. And I was like, so I guess it ain't bozo-ish and or, guy related.
I was like, okay.
Right. So I draw inspiration from like pioneers that came before me. I like looking into music from the 70s, which is my favorite era. 60s, like I said, I've always been very in tune and attracted to the Latin side of like music. So anything from Celia Cruz to La Lupe to Graciela, Olga, Ednita Nazario, Ana Gabriel, Rocío Dúrcal. Like I'm talking about like women who my mother used to clean using their music, and Gloria, Estefan, they just inspired so much in me that as time passed and as, music changes and evolves, I really didn't resonate and or relate to half of the music that has come out and or comes out, right? It's very rare. So I do have my Adele's, my Amy Winehouse, Jasmine Sullivan. So those are the women that are India Ari. So those are the people that I'm like, okay, I know I'm very soulful in my style, and it's just a matter of making that Latin soul sauce that I love so much, and then I also draw inspiration from like real life moments that not only have happened to me firsthand, but that have happened to people that I love and who have shared stories with me and or real life experiences with me. So you might say something that I might be like, you know what, this is great, and I'll just write it in my little Rolodex of like, notes for future reference. And ironically, I will use eventually for a song. Like I remember one time talking to a friend who was going through a breakup while I was writing the album. And I was in my happiest state, engaged, pregnant, about to have a baby, like just euphoric and happy. And she's going through this breakup, and her boyfriend at the time, a very educated man. When I tell you, he had a whole library in his house. Like he loved to read. He was a school teacher, super smart. And she said something. She was like, she's like, he reads all these fucking books, but my love language, he doesn't read it.
He's a dirtbag.
I said, my love language, you don't read it. And that's Love Language is one of my songs. And so that's one of the lines where people are like, oh my God, that line. And I'm like, that's not even firsthand. That's something that happened to my comadre. So somebody that I love. And in her like purging and like just venting to me, I was able to take that little moment of inspiration and say, I'm going to use you eventually. And I put it down. Yeah, so I draw inspiration from, fuck you and your toxicity. You know what? I'm over
No, listen. If you take that situation, it's the same thing as Romeo. Your ass is toxic.
But you know what? Toxicity sells. So here we are.
I know. So look, your Puerto Rican heritage, right? How does that influence your artistry?
Every day. I am the bomba. I am the plena. I am the pandaretas. I am your freaking gofio. I am the coqui that just harmonizes at night. Yes, that's me. The one that doesn't stop and just continues and continues until you have to hear it. Puerto Rico is just in my DNA. It's my island is. To other people, it's very small, but to me, it's the biggest thing in the whole wide world. I was not born there firsthand, but I am so happy that my lineage comes from that small island. I was able to serve them during Hurricane Maria and right after the hurricane, and I think that's going to be one of my greatest accomplishments of like my whole life, and I know it. I did God's work for my people, and serving them was my pleasure. This PTSD that I feel every September during hurricane season, I carry that badge of honor with me because these people are beautiful people. They're humble people. They're giving people. Don't fuck with them because they could be toxic. Pero we love hard and they're fucking awesome. And there's so much that comes out of my island. And that little rock has been abused for so many years, you know, and a lot of people don't talk about the history and what our culture and what we've really been through, you know, to wave a flag, you know, how birth control was first tested on Puerto Rican women and it wasn't said to be birth control. So we were their guinea pigs, how Vieques and the bombs and the so many things that they just experimented on us. And I mean, I know every place has their history, right? But my little island, just I feel like we're like this punching bag, you know, and it's like we just need a break. That's all. So that's why when we have, you know, incredible athletes that come from the island and or musicians and artists that come from the island or engineers and scientists that come from the island or, you know, people who are winning gold medals at the Olympics for like just being the fastest motherfucker on the track. It's we carry everybody with so much pride because we're so tiny, but they help us be seen. And so I know, you know, a lot of people aren't the same way I've gotten my following. I got a big of my following from what happened with Hurricane Maria and the humanitarian work that I did. And for the people who don't know, I was the girl on that picture from the swing with the flag wrapped around her. And I was the one that did the little excerpt of Campo. And those viral moments not only helped me gain over 30,000 followers overnight, but the way they got me the good attention, they also got me bad attention. And you also get the people who are like, oh, you're just trying to draw attention. And what the fuck are you doing for the island? Or look at this, you know, wannabe Puerto Rican or wannabe. So I learned that no matter how much you do for people, there's always going to be opinions. And people are always going to have something to say. And you're not always going to be everybody's cup of tea. It helped me build my thicker skin because it did. And, you know, as long as I know who I am and I know what I do and I know what I continue to, like, believe and stand for, that's all that matters.
Before my brother says what he's about to say, right? First of all, fuck him. Right? Because until you have haters,
right,
you ain't been doing shit.
Facts.
Yeah, bro.
So you mentioned, because now we come from an era where it's followers and this type of shit. When did you get, because you're independent artist.
Yeah.
No major backing, no big label, none of the machines behind you.
But I have the greatest machine. I have the greatest machine behind me.
Of course you do.
God.
Of course.
That's
the main machine.
It's the only one you need.
Amen.
When did you get verified on Instagram?
It was top of 2018.
Do you remember that moment? Like what?
Yes.
How was that feeling? What was the moment? Let's talk about it.
Oh, that's such
because
a good
now,
question. You're gonna make me cry. No.
Because now people pay for the check, but now you got it. You got it before it was.
Yeah. So there was a publicist that saw everything I did for Hurricane Maria, and she put in all the paperwork.
So it was the Hurricane Maria thing that really made it happen.
Yeah, and this publicist who literally, like I said, put all the paperwork, did all the work she had to do. I think she would do it for clients and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And I remember I came out with a song, Deja Te Ver, which ironically, it was a duo song with my friend Campi. But his manager, when they split up, took all of his music off the internet and stuff like that. So right now you can't even get that song. And we've tried to like bring it back, but we can't put it back. Yeah. But that song, having that song come out, gave her like the last thing that she needed in order to submit for my like verification. Mm-hmm. And I remember calling my friend Reina, and I was on tour with Don Omar. I was in a hotel. And I remember calling my friend Reina and telling her, can you go on Instagram right now and check my page? And she was like, yeah, I'm at work. She's a hairstylist, Chic Studio. She's like, yeah, give me a second. And she was like, oh my God, what the fuck? She was like, you're verified. And I was like, I just wanted to make sure that it wasn't a glitch and that I wasn't being pranked and that it wasn't something that was like, you know, that only I could see and that, you know, oh my God. And I remember crying and not knowing. I was just like, oh, wow, God, thank you so much. And then the lady DM'd me And she said, these were her words. She was like, you know, all the stuff and work that you did for Hurricane Maria did not go unseen. And she was like, you were verified in God's eyes way before this check mark. She was like, but I just thought that you needed to have it.
Message.
You worked for it. You worked for it.
Message.
Oh, Raina's a Virgo too.
And do you remember the first time someone ran down on you and was like, I want to take a picture with you?
Well, no, because, for example, like when you do theater shows and stuff like that, and after the show, when you come out, a lot of people wait. They wait for you. And sometimes we would take our sweet old time to take off all the lashes, the wigs, put our costumes where they belong. Sometimes we would shower, talk shit, all this other stuff, or you know, sometimes they had notes for us, so we would still have to stay there. But some people would just wait for you. But I think when it really started happening, I had started dating my husband, and this is where I noticed, I was like, wait, I don't know these fucking people. This is real random. And at the airport, it would always happen at the airport. So when we first started dating, one of the first trips that we took was to Tulum, and somebody's like, oh my God, Chef Kelvin. And I was like, oh, okay. You know, because I mean, I'm okay with that. So I was like, oh, okay. And she's like, oh my God, can I take a picture? And, and he's like, yeah. And I was like, I'll take it here. Give me the camera, because I don't mind. I don't need to be in the photo. And then we went to the food thingy-majingy, and somebody's like, oh my God, I'm such a fan. And I thought that they were going to say Chef Calvin. And she was like, Chachi, can I have a picture? And he looked at me like, so I was like, yeah, motherfucker.
We both banging. What's up?
Yeah, you ain't the only one out here. You ain't the only one out here.
You ain't the only superstar.
What's wrong with you,
What you talking, bro? What you...
So how was that feeling, though? How was that feeling?
It was great, because at the end of that, like, before we got to the flight, I think we were like, I was like 3 and he had 2. So three people had come up to me and 2 people had gone up to him.
Oh, so now it's okay.
It was like on some tick for tack.
We keeping tally marks.
Scores over here. But I thought it was
Remember,
cool.
she grew up with everybody
competitive cousins. So I was like, wait, anything you could do, I could do better, huh?
Yeah, what's wrong with you?
Oh my gosh. So yeah, there's random moments that happen. We went to a 9 a.m. banger like a couple months ago, my friend Nancy and I, and it was so hot in the room, and we were like, okay, let's go find the salsa room. And so in finding the salsa room, we had to go outside of the main room to go downstairs. And we see this lady who's by herself, and we're just like, you know, wow, like we're jamming to the music, and we're like, wow, I feel so much better here. And I'm the type of person where I'll make eye contact with whoever, I'll smile at whoever. I am that person that will talk to strangers. I am just, you know, so I don't know this lady, but she's like, yeah, it's a lot better out here. And then she's like, oh my God, you're Chachi. And she just starts bawling. And I was like,
what the fuck is going on?
Oh my God, why are you crying? And she's like, oh my God, it's my birthday. And I came by myself because nobody wanted to come with me. And And she was like, and look at God. I didn't know this was going to happen. And you're here. And She was like, can we take a picture? And she's like hugging me. She was like, let me make sure you're real. And she's like, oh my God. And it was crazy. And when she DMs me the photos, this woman had been writing to me for years. Wow. And I write to everybody. So I'm that type of person where I open my DMs. And yes, I have a friend who helps me with like my social platforms, but she doesn't open it. She leaves everything for me to open. I remember an interview that Celia Cruz told Don Francisco that she wrote everyone that ever sent her a gift and or anybody who ever sent anything of her fan base to her. And she wrote everyone back. That was her, like, she made it her mission to write everybody back. And so I'm thinking, how fortunate am I that I don't have to send a letter? How fortunate am I that I have freaking a social platform and technology that I could reply right away? And it doesn't have to be something that takes a a trip to the post office just to say thank you to you or to acknowledge you for acknowledging me. So I feel the community that I've created with my people, they know and they've been rocking with me for a really long time. And like you said, an independent artist, it's taken me, years to get the 94,000 followers that I have on Instagram. I never paid for bots. I never paid for likes. I never paid for comments. I never created pages replying to myself, telling myself, hey, guys, good job.
That's wild. But this is the society we live in. This is the fucking... Yo, the shit that people do is just wild.
I feel like I don't have to do that. And then something else that I was thinking about. I was thinking about Cha today, and I was like, Cha, don't talk shit on this freaking podcast, Cha. Don't talk shit.
We talk all types of
But I
languages.
gotta be honest with you. It's like a part of me feels like this field that I am in right now, when it comes to like recording artists, is so oversaturated because we have this beautiful platform of like technology and having access to recording our stuff and or, you know, going into a studio and laying some stuff down. I just feel like, you know, it's like a doctor is a doctor, but you know, you can't just be like, I'm a doctor. You have to go to school. You have to be certified. You have to, you know, learn how to do certain procedures and protocol and operate and learn the whole freaking biology of the body and right, the levels to it. And it's like, you know, when you're an engineer, when you're a architect, when you're a dentist, when you're a like, you know what I mean? You can't just be like, even when you're a teacher, you just can't be like, oh, I'm a teacher. Well, do you have any background in curriculums in school and psychology and children and trauma and like there's a lot of things that go into it, and I'm like right now we're in a day and age where it's 2025 and it's like people left and right is on some like, oh, I'm a singer, and it's like, well, a doctor can't fake an operation with autotune. And neither can a dentist, and neither can an engineer, right? But then all of a sudden, it's like everybody and their mother wants to be a vocalist, and it's like you're pitchy as hell. You don't have a real audience because you buy half of your shit. You've never done a show live, and or if you did a show live, you can't even like, you know, go up to bat and like really bat. And it's like, who? Because your mom says you could sing, you think that you're a vocalist? Mm-hmm. And it's like, so now I have to prove myself and now I have to try to become popular because now talent doesn't even matter. It's popularity. Yeah. So it's like, it's just a shit show. It's a shit show and it's very discouraging. And it takes a lot to be in this industry, an industry where there are so many beautifully talented people that deserve incredible, like, recognition, platforms, opportunities and stuff. And it's like, we get the shit end of the stick because, you know, we're not smashing X, Y, and Z, or because we're not dating this wannabe rapper or a famous person or whatever the case is, or, you know, it's like we have all this talent being wasted and incredible. And I just don't speak for myself. I speak for so many people in my community who feel like right now we're fucking silenced because we're oversaturated with shit.
Do you feel? I mean, listen, you dropped.
I wasn't even trying. I wasn't even trying to go there.
Nah,
just went,
yeah, she's dropping gems. Do you feel, as a? I mean, you're in the game, obviously. Like you've been around the world and back twice. Do you feel as Latinos, we get overlooked in the culture?
Yeah, absolutely. Look how beautiful it is that obviously the. And let's not go there, right? But we're going to go there. The Anglos and the white people, right? They have their platforms in the Hollywoods and all this stuff. And even our African-American community, they have their own channels, they have their own networks, they have their own labels, they have their own, like, they have their own movies, they have their own, like, you know, they have their own. Like, they've already set a place and a mark, a stamp. And I just feel like how fucked up it is for Latinos that I am not black enough and I am not white enough, so I fall in a limbo. Right? We fall in a limbo. Like now is that Latino films and stuff like that is like, you know, making a little noise and resonating, and because people started speaking up for themselves and people started uniting on some like, no, why y'all always trying to freaking put Latinas in a maid or in a whore role? Like why I always gotta be that person? Why can't I be the neuroscience or why the surgeon or the lawyer or the like why can't we play these roles?
Somebody just said this, right?
Listen,
was it Honey German?
I'm gonna keep it honest with you,
I
right?
love Honey.
Yeah, we just had like something like this came up where like they want to give like the stripper roles to the Latina. Like it's crazy.
I'm gonna keep it honest with you, right? Once again, I gotta be easy. I'm the fan. He's the industry guy. I'm just giving you my perspective from the outside point of view. If somebody, and this is no disrespect to you, okay, I'm not gonna mention any names of actors or anything like that. If you're an A-lister and you don't say, I'm not finna do this role because whoever comes behind me needs to be held at a certain standard, that's where the problem occurs. You understand what I'm saying? Because I was going to ask you about your acting roles and shit like that, but since you open Pandora's box. This is what it is. It's whoever comes before you. If they put you like this, right? So now there's this thing in Hollywood right now where everybody's talking about, after Cat Williams' interview, he's talking about everybody that's wearing dresses as a man.
Mm-hmm.
It's up to you to be like,
I'll take the role or I'll pass. Absolutely.
so it's the same situation.
Absolutely. And you had the people like the Rita Morenos that were like, thank you, but no.
Rita,
But yeah,
love
you have,
you, Rita.
but right.
Dios te bendiga, mi amor,
Yes,
coño.
yes. But then you
La
also
tía
have,
de nosotros.
but then you also have the people with the mentality of like, you know, but I want to be a star, or I want to be in a film, and I want to get this credit, and I want to show that I could do this, and maybe this is gonna open the next door for me. But unfortunately, it's like you get boxed, or you get put in a situation where you always have to be that girl, and it sucks. I mean, I'll speak more for the music than anything else, because right now that is the industry. Even though I do a little bit of everything, that is where I am like all in, right? And when I say an industry that's like so oversaturated, I went to the Billboard Awards last year, and in one of the panels they were mentioning how a day 100,000 songs get uploaded a day.
Thanks. Yep.
So at this point, it's not about quantity, it's about quality. And that's how I've decided to, when you say, what do I pick for sources of inspiration, is also making sure that my caliber of quality is A1. And that what I'm putting out is not what X, Y, and Z is putting out. Because everybody could do that, but they can't do what I do. So I have to really stick to what I do best and what I know not a lot of people could do. So... And I say that to say, obviously, like, look, I love the arts, and I've been in this for a really long time, but there's a lot of times where you get discouraged.
I was going to ask you that. I'm glad you said that. Like, my next question was, does it turn you off?
It does.
Like, you've traveled the world, you performed on the biggest platforms and arenas, stages. Like,
It does.
you've got a taste of it.
Yeah.
So now you circle back, and it's back to you, and you know what I'm saying? You pumping your dope, and it's like, damn, do I really want to do this, or like, this is what I got to compete against this shit?
Or you have people who have been following you for a while you have the people that are like, we'll wait and we love it and this and that and the other, but then you have the other people that are like, oh, you know, why you not famous yet? And it's like, well.
What's your definition of fame? Like, why? How you? Yeah.
Right. Like,
Yeah.
I think that's an opinion, kind of.
Exactly.
Like, it's
Yeah.
not like,
1,000%.
right.
Yeah.
It's subjective.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So it's like, okay, maybe I'm not famous, but who said I wanted to be famous? I always felt and feel like my art is therapy, and it's therapeutic, because the same way I've used music from other artists to be like the soundtrack of my life, or to help me get through certain times of my life, and or, you know, maybe mend the blow a little bit. I feel like people are using my music as therapy and or my art as an escape to get away and stuff like that. So I'm like, I'm serving my purpose. I'm making people smile. I'm working. You know, I'm not doing the 9 to 5. No offense to that, but fortunate enough that I can give myself to the arts and live off of it, right? But it is discouraging, because it's like, if doctors had, you know, people coming up to a hospital saying, well, I'm a doctor, you know, 30 people a day coming, I'm a doctor, and not having anything to prove that says that you are a real doctor, physician, MD, all that good stuff. You know, this is the one field where it's like anybody could come up and be like, well, I'm a singer. But okay, but just take the auto-tune off. That's all I'm saying. Take the auto-tune off.
Heavy on the
and be a
auto-tune, shut it
singer.
off.
And be a singer. And then you could say you're a singer, and then you could do whatever you want to do. But you can't come in it on some like having a AI tool freaking be your crutch. And it's like, that's not the real world, bro. Like,
There's a difference between being a singer and a singer.
you know?
This is why
I
Jay
know.
said death for auto-tune, bro. He said this shit 10, 15 years ago, bro. And it's still going on.
No, back in the day, Motown, it was like when they used to record on these like the one track thingy majingies, like the
Reels. Yeah, the 2-inch reels.
You better hit it or quit it on the first go,
That's a
because them
fact.
shits is expensive, and
And
we
that
don't
shit-
got time to
Them
waste.
tapes was
I was about to say,
$250
that
a
shit
pop, and you had to take a
shit
razor
was
blade and
bread.
cut it,
Bro.
and that's how you had to punch in.
Like he said.
Yeah, there was no Pro Tools, bro.
Look. Like he said right now, you had to cut it, splice it, and put the shit together.
And not everybody could do that.
Ain't nobody trying to do that.
So they weren't having that. They were on some like, y'all gonna rehearse it until y'all got it. And when y'all got it, we gonna cut it. But until we know you got it, we not cutting it. But nowadays, anybody could go into the and freaking auto-tune it out. And it's like, now you sound like Beyonce.
That bitch out.
Bitch, and you can't do that live.
I know. I ain't even want to go there.
So it bothers. It's just like... No, or the people who buy bots
leave
or
karaoke me alone.
Or buy the they buy the likes, they buy the this, they buy the following, and then they can't fill nothing up
at all.
They can't fill a 50-seater, a 100-seater, a 200-seater, a 300-seater, a 500, and it's like you need 90 artists to sell out a $18,000 person stadium. Like,
not even that. You know what I would love to do? I would love to do this, right? If you're
this guy over here,
I'm not even drinking.
No. I'm keeping it a buck, right? I need whoever's an up and coming artist to go to the Apollo, because the Apollo's gonna let you know
if you good or not, if you got it or not.
Performance is what it is, or if it's not. Because guess what? I want to see what you look like when niggas is like this. Boo! Everybody's laughing in here.
But it's true.
Boo!
Mm-hmm.
If you made for this or if you're not made for this, let me tell you something, right? I don't even like bringing this shit up. He knows that I don't like this shit. I'm really not about being in front of the camera and all this shit. But look, let me give you an example, right? 1995, 17 years old. No, I'm lying. I'm 19.
I was 9. I'm listening.
Stinking ass. So, yo, look, I'm on the Apollo stage.
They booed you, no.
Nah, chill, listen.
Okay, I'm listening.
We tell the dude, but this is regular Wednesday. This is not the TV version. Mind you, I did both, right? I'm saying this to give you an example of what I'm talking about. We told the dude, listen, the tape is queued up. Don't rewind this tape. He rewinded the tape. So we start my group. I was in a group. With our back turns to the crowd. Them motherfuckers is booing. Boo, because it's taking mad long.
Yeah.
Right? As soon as the shit go off, we say whatever, we turn around, we start singing. Motherfuckers, that same shit that you said, how motherfuckers be turning up, the whole spot went crazy. Right? A lot of people will fold in that situation.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? We need to go back to that, because that's why we have the entertainment that we have right now. And you go see somebody performing, they got a track playing. I can't stand to see a motherfucker performing and you got a track. Why do you have a track?
They got freaking microphones now with auto-tune.
No. Listen. I would say something right now about one of the people that's selling out right now, but I ain't gonna do it to him. Everybody loves him.
Yeah, no, listen, it's a different era, bro. Like I said,
the
talent is overlooked. The talent is not appreciated anymore because the Pro Tools, the Auto-Tune, the this, the that. Open your laptop, you could just fucking plug and play. I feel the same thing with DJs. Like, niggas ain't paying no dues. You get a fucking hard drive with
Serato,
80,000 records. You never pay no dues. It's just weird. Like,
right.
And this is why there's 80 million artists. This is why there's 50,000 more DJs, because of the same shit. You know what I'm saying? So, like, where do you draw the line? It's just going to get worse.
I want to ask you this, right? Because you said your school put you in a whole program. They made you 360 degrees. They ain't just have you just being a singer and shit like that. What made you want to, or how did you venture into movies and things like that, being dancer or being a choreographer?
So through dance, for example, when I was doing
You gotta be that shit to be a choreographer and all this
Yeah.
type of shit on the motherfucking movie.
Yeah,
Like,
but
the
I
fuck?
mean, when you love what you do, it's like I said, is
So let me ask
totally
you
different.
this
It comes
real
like a
quick.
second nature.
Let me ask you this quick. Singing or dancing?
So 20 years ago, I would have told you dancing, but singing.
All right, go ahead. Carry on.
Yeah. And again, because I feel like anyone can dance with the proper
That's
time
some
out.
bullshit.
Listen, I taught a high school of deaf kids, okay, who could not hear, and I had them dancing to the vibration off of the stage floor. So when I tell you anyone can learn how to dance, anyone can learn how to dance, but not everyone can learn how to sing. Okay, like it's just, and you could take vocal lessons, and yes, you could work on your breathing, you could work on your tonality, you could work on certain things, but
That's some bullshit.
there's something that comes with and I don't want to sound fucked up, but like when it comes to real vocalists,
You can't work on tone.
you can't. No, you can. If
I
you
don't believe that.
if you play the piano and you have these chords given to you and you can mimic what they're playing for you, you can absolutely work on tone. But there's a certain it character and factor that you cannot teach, you cannot buy, you cannot learn. It's called it.
It's the it factor.
You understand?
Yep.
It is.
Yep.
And it's fucking awesome. And not everybody has it. But the people who fucking have it, we glow in the dark.
Drop mic on that one.
But
Because I say that shit. That it factor is different.
it is.
When you walk in the room, you just glow. Like you can't pay for it. You, like you said, it just, you have it. It's called it.
And you don't even have to be the best. But when you make people feel stuff, when you know how to interpret, when you know, I learned one of my superpowers. I was like, bro, I'm singing a ballad. I'm not shaking my ass. I'm not showing my ass. I don't have all the pyro and the lights, and all I have is a fucking guitarist and a fucking cajon. And I see this lady crying. And this other lady is about to
That's
cry.
it.
And
That's
this
it.
other lady is telling her friend, look, I got goosebumps all over my body. And I was like, I have a superpower. I am touching everybody in this room without physically touching them. And I was like, I felt so powerful that day. But not everybody has that. So not everyone's going to experience that.
Facts.
And on stage, it's like, I feel like, I don't know, some people say like when they travel and they're up on an airplane, they feel closer to God. I don't know what it is. I get so like spiritual and pray when I'm on stage. Like it's just a place of gratitude and of just
It says
thank you to the Lord.
Listen, we
'Cause
were
I'm
in
like,
Puerto Rico together, and I seen you do your shit,
my God.
and we was over there, and you got the mic, and like you said, you can't fake this shit.
I love it.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
Like,
true. We were.
yeah, we was in Puerto Rico. Like, bro, Apollo in Puerto Rico, my nigga.
How about that?
You heard she grabbed the mic, and everybody was like, yo, like they was stuck.
La placita.
They was
Chachi at La
stuck because she
placita.
did what she did. You know what I'm saying? And it was like, you gotta be there, my nigga. It's like you can't even, words can't explain what
Chachi,
we would.
you know what's
what I'm saying?
crazy? I only want to say outside looking in, right? Your energy speaks for itself. Thank you. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if it's a Virgo trait or whatever, but I'm good at reading people's energy. Whoever comes across you should be able to read your whole energy.
Mm-hmm.
So I know whether it's you dancing or whether it's you singing, your energy is going to captivate whoever is in your presence.
And I think it goes beyond talent, to be honest with you.
Nah, talent ain't got nothing to do with that.
Right.
Listen,
But-
there's a difference between talent. We always say it on this show, right? You got motherfuckers that's talented, you got motherfuckers that work. The motherfuckers that's talented be the lazy motherfuckers.
Yeah, sometimes.
The people that, no, most of the times.
Yeah.
The people that work.
Hard work outbeats talent.
The
all
people
the time.
that work always gonna beat the people with talent. But you got both. And that's unheard of in this day and age. That's why you're relevant. That's why you're
Thank you.
identifiable
Thank you.
to people. You understand what I'm saying? That's why it makes sense. When he told me, yo, we got Chachi, we got who?
I need that introduction, bro.
Nah,
because
look,
the way you
look,
said
look,
that
look.
was like,
Look.
whoa.
Hold on.
Who is he
hold
talking
on.
about?
Hold
Wait,
on.
me?
First of all,
I loved it. It was beautiful.
Listen, Creations by Lady J. That's who helps me with my monologue. She digs. She goes in a rabbit hole just like I do.
Beautiful.
But mind you, when we first met, I never said nothing to you. I don't even know if you remember or not. We was in Angie's barbecue.
Yeah.
I ain't say nothing to you because when I'm outside with him, I'm gonna fly on the wall. I don't say nothing. People think I'm his security. I'm lying, bro.
Facts. Yeah.
Because that's who I am. Because I'm not. I don't care about none of this shit.
Right.
If it was me, I'll be behind the camera and let him get all the glory. I don't care about none of that shit. But I know that having you on our platform, you deserve everything.
Thank you.
I just started being on this shit. Like, I'm not even lying to you. And I felt your energy back then. I'm just not a dude to be like,
Yeah.
I'm serious. He'll tell you.
That's what's up.
Like, you're super dope.
Thank you.
It made sense. He was like, yo, we got Chachi. I'm about to violate her whole shit.
He was like, I've been very patient and I've been very silent.
waiting for that
Now I
bit.
can talk my shit.
Nah, like for real.
Thank
The
you.
monologue, even though, like I said, Creation by Lady J, she made that happen. We both piggyback, yo, how's this? All right, yeah. Bro, what I told you, she gonna love this shit.
He was saying all that stuff, and I was like, I need this as an introduction to a show. That's how I was looking at it. Like, wait a
He's
minute.
got all types of, they want them on albums, intros for albums. This is what he do.
Listen,
Yeah, that's what he do.
you're dope.
Tell Lady J I appreciate
You're dope,
it.
sis.
Thank you.
Like, for real.
Thank you.
We got you here. And once again, thank you for coming on our show.
Thank you for having me.
You're identifiable. You're going to relax.
It
'Cause
took
you-
some motherfucking time.
Because you get crazy. We're going to get you
And if
later.
she wasn't family,
I would have been like, forget her.
you know what I'm saying?
Listen.
Nancy, no, you would have been parked.
Yo, look. Sis. We don't bring just anybody over here.
Thank you.
He said it. This is invite only. You know how many people be trying to come on this show, they be hitting me, and I be like, yo, that's the person you need to talk to. Don't talk to me. Say it again,
Good luck.
sis.
And good luck.
Nah, like,
Don't call me. I be loving when you be on your
don't do
Instagram.
that.
Don't call me. Don't text me. I'm at work. I will not be replying
All
to
the
your
way
messages.
good. All the way good.
Yes.
But that's your camera.
I was talking to the camera.
That's your camera. You done? You good? Sure? Give your socials, your everything, what's going on, what's next for you. Like,
So guys, Grizel Del Valle, La Chachi. Instagram is at Chachi Nation. My TikTok is Grizel Del Valle. Like I mentioned before, it's Grizel Del Valle, okay? Because motherfuckers be like Grizzle, Manizzle, and that's not it. We're working on the second part of the album. So I decided to drop the album in two forms, side A and side B. Side A was the more mature side, the side that, was, I
less
say,
toxic.
no, it's still toxic because
No,
if you
give us
really
that
listen to that
pain.
lyric,
Give
if
us
you
that pain
if you
music.
really listen to that lyric and those lyrics, it's like it's toxic to stay in those situations. And that girl, in half of those songs stood in that situation. So side B, we want to come with a more tropical side, a side that resonates with the dancer that I am, a side that, you know, it's just when it comes to a little bit more urban, a little bit more dance, a little bit more pop, still true to who I am and to my essence. And we are working on some stuff. I have a couple of shows coming up in New York this year. Probably be part of the Puerto Rican Day Parade in New York this year. That's coming up in June. I might be at I don't know when this airs.
It's gonna air in about a month.
In about a month. All right, so I need y'all to go and buy these tickets to go see La India at Lehman Center, May 10th, and you might just get a little surprise that night. But yeah, we're working on this on this side of the project, and I'm super excited, and I'm not gonna rush myself because, like I said, it's quality over like quantity, and I want to make sure that I set the bar pretty high when my album debuted at #1 on the Latin charts on iTunes.
Talk your shit.
So
Woo!
I can't sit here and give you guys a crazy ass side B that doesn't stay up to par with what I already set for myself. So I am my biggest critic and my biggest competition, and yeah, I think I'm gonna be proud of what's coming.
Hey,
And that's it.
thank you for
And
pulling
thank you for
up.
having
If
it.
we do say
And
so
next time, make
ourselves.
sure I have my gold cup. You heard?
I got you.
If I do say
ain't even
so
drink.
myself.
You ain't even drink.
Okay? What do you mean? I
You
drank.
ain't even drink.
I did.
That's
When I took that sip, that's when I opened Pandora's box, bro.
Okay.
We're gonna drop it there.
And
Peace
we
out.
Yeah, I already know.
Thanks for
what it
tuning
is.
in.
Chachi.
I was like, child, don't talk.